Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I will be talking about some juicy lessons that I learned in the year 2022. So let's dive deep into it. So number one is it's not really about the advice, but who's giving it that matters the most. And this is something that I heard Gary Vee say for the first time, and I completely fell in love with it ever since I heard it. So you must have gotten dozens of advices this year as well, as you do every single year, but this is something that I've learned this year. It's about what the advice is being thrown at you, but more about who's the person that's throwing that advice, if that makes sense. People love to talk. They want, once you're studying, they want you to get married. Once you're married, they want you to have kids. Once you have a kid, they want you to have more kids, and so on and so forth. It just keeps going. So for example, if you are getting an advice to start a business from someone who has already owned a business and who has worked his way up and knows how business is done and knows the ins and outs of business, and he's the one who's advising you to start a business, you should probably be taking that advice. But if the same advice is coming from somebody who hasn't done anything with their life and who just loves to talk and throw free advices to people, that's something you should probably be ignoring. This is just a quick example to make you realize of how you should be filtering and sieving through the advices that are thrown at you. Number two is learn from the big sharks. And this is something that is, I believe, the most powerful thing that I've learned this year. I recently started reading books and getting into podcasts. Not that I haven't read books early in my life. I used to be a bookworm. I have always loved reading, but ever since I got married, I had a son and my studies, I couldn't really find the time to read. But now that I finally find a schedule around it, and I finally have found a way to make time to read and listen to podcasts, it has changed my life so much. Books are something that have years and years of experience of people who have done some wonderful things in their life concluded into a number of pages. Same with the podcast. There's so much experience that goes into a person who has climbed his way up to becoming someone in the industry. And when you get to listen to their interviews over an hour or so on a podcast, I don't think there's anything that is going to be more powerful and more packed with value other than books and podcasts. And this is something that has shaped my life, and I wish I knew earlier. I mean, I did knew about it earlier, but I just couldn't find the time to do it. But I wish I had found the time to do it earlier in my life, because books and podcasts are something that I found in 2022, and they have shaped the entire year for me. The third point would be it's all about consistency that leads to success. And I'm sure you have heard this line before in a couple of different ways if you're somebody who's into a lot of self-development like me, or even if you're a new student or even a new parent. This is something that goes into every aspect of life, I think. So it's really not about doing 50%, 60%, even 80% of the work in day one and then not doing anything for years down the road. So this is something I learned this year, and it has been life-changing ever since. So let's say you want to become a Gymshark athlete. You just don't go and hit the gym on the first day, work out for 6-8 hours straight, and expect to be having six-packs or abs on the next day. You have to be eating the veggies regularly, going to the gym on a regular basis, and then expect to be having the same results. Same goes with everything in life. You can't be just doing the work on day one and then expecting to be having the results the very next day. This is something that I learned this year while I was making the course for my FPGE. I've always had this perception that making courses online was the easiest thing to do in this world. Ever since I actually started doing it, and in the stages of making the FPGE masterclass for my students, I realized that it's not going to be something that I'm going to get done in a day or two. It's going to take a while to write down the notes, to record those videos, to search for more topics, to study myself and then make out the notes and everything, to find out the mnemonics, make the mnemonics myself, etc., etc. So there was a lot that was going into the process, but I had to do the work consistently in order to make the final product. Also, if you're somebody who is planning on taking on the FPGE exam next year, you're more than welcome to join my course. It's the FPG masterclass that's packed with so much value that you're not going to regret it. But be sure to check it out on my website. That's going to be linked down below. I don't know the science that goes behind it, but I have heard from all these YouTube gurus, and this is something that I started doing this year, late this year I would say, and it has helped me so much. So anything that's on my to-do list, I usually just take out my Apple Notes and just try to like write everything down that I have to do the next day to plan out my day a day before. And I have noticed this pattern in my life that anything that's actually on the to-do list needs to get done, and anything that's not on the to-do list can either wait or could be done at a later time. And this has helped me so much because the next morning when I get up or whenever I get time, like between the house chores and everything, I like to review the to-do list that I made last night, and it helps me so much to prioritize tasks and actually get done what's most important. And other tasks that are not on the list can easily be procrastinated on or maybe done when I have time after doing the task that's already on the list. So these were the key lessons that I learned in 2022, and if this video provided you any value, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on Instagram. That's MedNerdyCram, and I'll see you guys again next time in the next video. Peace.